Welcome, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making and friends, to another impactful episode. We're about to go through and highlight a melanated married couple, or just go through some lessons that we got. Make sure y'all tap in with the conversation. Queen, where can they go to tap in?
TheeM4Show.com.
Yes, ma'am. And make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. Queen, where can they follow us on Instagram?
TheeM4Show.
Now, if y'all haven't liked and subscribed, it would make the Queen very, very happy. If you can go ahead. Very? What should they do?
You should go ahead and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
It's free, and your first step to becoming a millionaire. Go ahead and click that button. And let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
Beautiful people, welcome back to the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm your host, Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And of course, I have my Dovely, my locked, my smiling, my bills paid queen herself. Please introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. And I want my bills back.
Hey.
Okay. All right, let me not shake the table.
Please don't.
I got that Lotto song stuck in my head. Shout out to Lotto.
God did
all of that. All right, Khaled.
God did.
He had to be. That was his one and only shot.
Look, what show were we watching? It was the
BET Awards.
It was not the BET Awards.
MTV
it was
Awards.
the VMA Awards.
One of those shows.
The Video Music Awards. And, they had DJ Khaled as one of the MCs. He refused to read the teleprompter, and he had an album that was coming out, and he just kept saying the name of the album over and over again, which at first I was boycotting the album. I was like, just because he was acting like that, I'm not going to listen to it. I promise you. But I listened to it.
Of course.
And it was a good album.
It was.
Not going to front. There's some really good features on there. If you haven't heard the God Did verse by Jay-Z, Hove, aka Sean Carter himself, it's been on repeat in this household, in this car. It was on the news. Like, what? How often do you see a hip hop verse being featured on MSNBC? Well, it was crazy.
It's happened a few times, but typically not for good reasons.
Right. Typically not for good reasons. But without further ado, Queen, can you please hit the beautiful folks with some knowledge, with some wisdom, with the did you know?
Yes, I can. Did you know that positive affirmations can improve your health? You did?
I did know that. I practice positive affirmations on a very consistent basis. Well, I'll hand it back to you.
You do. And so that's because thoughts, whether positive or negative, create chemistry within the body. And those chemical signals will create physical manifestations, right? Of illness, of stress, of happiness, right? All of those things, they're manifested from your thoughts. There was actually a study that was done where they were testing a man's strength, and they had him say negative talk, like I'm weak, I am weak, I am weak. And they measured how strong, how much he could hold. And then they did the same thing, and he said, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, and repeated that. And he was physically able to hold more weight when he told himself that he was strong. Nice. So again, there are physical manifestations that happen in your body that can allow you to do things, to really excel, to continue to grow as an individual when you tell yourself those positive thoughts. Not only that, but positive affirmations have been scientifically proven to reduce anxiety, improve your mood, decrease stress, improve your self-esteem, and improve your problem-solving skills under stress. Nice. So there's a lot of sound evidence. It's not just mumbo jumbo, voodoo nonsense. There is scientific evidence out there that backs positive affirmations. So if you've never tried it before, maybe just write a sentence out about something that you like or love about yourself, and repeat that to yourself 3 times a day in the morning. Do that, and then you can switch it up, or you can try a different affirmation or try another affirmation. I know the king used to do like 100 affirmations at some point every morning,
every day.
I'm not that committed. I commend you, but I am gonna get back into my affirmations. I'm like very hit or miss with those. I was partially talking to myself when I did this. Did you know? So I'm gonna pass that over to you all. Get in those positive affirmations and continue to grow as an individual.
Love it. And I will say that wholeheartedly, since I've been calling myself beautiful, I think my What's going on here? What was what was this laugh about, y'all?
I'm looking forward to what you're about to say.
But since I've been calling myself beautiful, and I've been doing affirmations for maybe 2 years, 3 years, my beauty levels, my self-esteem levels have skyrocketed since doing my own affirmations. I call myself a genius. I call myself a scholar. I'm an educator. I'm an impact maker. Or I just say these things out loud has given me more confidence. So much so, we were at an event one day, and this was the All Black National Convention last year.
Mhm.
Someone told me this is the first time I've ever gotten this. They're like, you have too much confidence. I was like, ooh, well, I'm on to something. What's too much confidence? So yeah, definitely make sure y'all tap in with saying your affirmations. Saying your affirmations also help you to build out what your own brand is going to be, right? The feelings that you give yourself is going to be the brand within you, but then the feelings that you have and you express to other people, that's what becomes your personal brand. How you make other people feel, the memories you're able to create with them, the power that you're able to give them, or the power that you take away, right? The negative side or the positive side becomes your personal brand. And we're going to get into that. My identity was stolen for a week or two. We're going to get into that in a second. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second. But this week's sponsor of the M4 show is the Sankofa Digital Network. And they have a very, very strong brand, very strong model. And their model is, we will take you, transform you from brick and mortar to click and order.
I like that.
Right. Real simple, real streamlined. If you have a brick and mortar business, maybe you saw a downturn in the 2020, 21 years, or maybe you're just trying to launch your website and your digital brand online, you need to tap into Sankofa Digital Network, which is an online membership service, bless you, Queen, for Black business owners. So make sure y'all go to www.sankofadigitalnetwork.com and tap into the membership. You might be able to get a little discount if you use the code the M4 show. Maybe they might show you a little bit of love if you use the discount code the M4 show. Go ahead, click and order your business today. All right.
Oh,
Now, Queen, are you ready to get into today's episode about personal branding?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the health nerd.
And welcome to the M4 show. As long as the Queen's soul's happy, that makes me happy. I'm good. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to the intro. Shout out to Harry.
Yes,
shout
love
out to
it.
everybody.
But I want to get into it, right? We're talking about personal branding, but I can't dive into it without first telling y'all the debacle that I had to go through. Okay. So if you didn't know, my first Instagram name was Sigma D, because the brand, the identity that I was going into at that time, this was 2013. I was, during college, freshly a Sigma. So Sigma D was my identity, was my brand. After that, I graduated, got my first job. I was working for UC Riverside. I was really in my personal development mode. So I changed my name to Invest in Devon Walker. That's what I was doing. I was investing in Devon Walker, and I was giving everyone the opportunity. The Queen bought the most stocks. Well done. You did your thing. You getting a good return.
Like, I know a good investment when I see one.
Like, I want that one. But that was a time where I was really trying to build up myself as a entrepreneur and just as a person. A lot of self-development. Recently, I think it was this year, I changed my Instagram name to Devon Truvel. Devon Truvel is my creative entrepreneurial identity, and everything that I like really want to build and grow from has the name really Devon Truvel. Somebody had the audacity, y'all, to start an Instagram account that said Devon Truvel with the underscore at the end. All the hard work that I put into building the business, the brand of Devon Truvel, the brand of me, was now at risk because there was this random person on Instagram that I believe was a bot or just, they had malicious intent. I believe they had malicious intent.
For
And
sure did.
for sure. And they were DMing people with my name.
And you're missing a part. They didn't.
Talk to me.
It's not like someone just happens to also come up with this name. They took
No.
his profile picture.
Yes.
They were reposting his posts word for word. They were definitely trying to imitate Devon. They even put like, "This is my backup page" on there.
Malicious intent, y'all. It was crazy.
And then they bought followers.
So it looked like they had like 10,000 followers. So if you know me, you follow me, you're thinking, oh, okay, Devon, I see you. You made it. You did it. All the hard work paid off. Not there yet. Still going. Where I'm going with this is, as they were DMing people, they were like, hello there, using a yellow emoji and just
It was white.
technically it was yellow emoji, but saying things and using emojis that I wouldn't use. And I'm a very silver lining person, right? So the things that I got from this experience is, one, there was somebody or some group out there in the world that saw my profile as so valuable that they wanted to copy it, right? So valuable that they thought, let me pretend to be this person, because if I'm this person, I can create value. So what does that tell me? That my identity, who I am, can create value. So I need to stop messing with myself and take it seriously before someone else tries to come and take my value that I've worked hard for. Right. Number two, what it told me is that there are a group of people out there that have a very set impression of who I am and my identity. Had multiple friends that, send me a DM or even texted the queen, like, someone's trying to pretend to be you, and I know they're not you because they didn't use black emojis.
Period.
Right.
Shout out to Denzel. That's how I know this ain't Devon.
So someone else was like, oh, I knew it wasn't you because they weren't talking about black empowerment or wealth. Someone else was like, they didn't ask me about my hopes and dreams, so I knew it wasn't Devon because Devon always asked me about my hopes and dreams.
Someone else was like, oh, when I said hey frat, he wasn't excited or anything like that. Like, people know you, people know who you are, people know how you interact with them, and they expect that. And when you don't, they're like, this isn't right.
All right, something's fishy, right? So I had a great, great may be a strong word, because again, it was a negative experience. Had a lot of DMs, had to email a lot of people, all that stuff. But the fact that I was able to see what my brand is to other people. So my brand is a hopes and dreams brand, which is right on par with what I want to do. My brand is a black excellence, black empowerment, black wealth brand, which is right in line with what I want to do. My brand is a welcoming, happy, positive brand, right? So I encourage you, and I want to ask you, Queen, what you think your brand perception is to other people. But I encourage y'all to be intentional about the brand that you're building. And we're going to talk about 3 different areas in a second on personal branding. We're going to talk about how your own personal brand or identity within your relationship, within your marriage. We're going to talk about your own personal brand and identity within your job, right? Where you work, your 9 to 5 right now, you have a brand. Even though you're working for another brand, you're working for another business, you still have a brand. And then we're going to talk about your brand within your own entrepreneurship career or your own business. 3 lanes. I'm saying it twice because I want Sinclair to help me remember
That's
3
what that
categories. Yes, ma'am. But Queen,
yes,
when you think about your own personal brand, what do you think comes up for other people? Right? When they're thinking about Sinclair, what comes up?
health.
Nice.
I think, like, even, yes, my Instagram is the health nerd, but we took that and, like, we say it on here. Like, I'd say that as my nickname because that's just where a lot of my passion and where I feel like my purpose is educating folks, researching, right? I'm a very analytical person, so I love getting into the weeds and research and stuff like that, but then letting people know about it. So there's so many things I learned and I'm like, how do we not know this? How is this not front page news? So I like bringing those things forward so people can just be educated and make those decisions for their health on their own terms. So yes, I would think that being enthusiastic about health, being literally a health nerd, is a part of my brand.
Nice.
I know sometimes people will and I know I haven't been putting as much health content out lately, but I know before, when I was, every day or every couple days putting out stuff, I'd have people asking me for recipes or workout plans.
So would you put cooking or chefing as a part of your brand?
Yes. I think even when we're at like friend's house or things like that, sometimes we like, but it's not as good as Sinclair's, whatever, whatever. Even people at your job who've never met me or have met me, they know that I can cook because of the way you talk about it.
Facts.
Or the kitchen's like right over the edge here, so sometimes I'll be cooking up stuff and they'll be like, oh, McQueen's down there making po' boys or whatever. So I feel like I would also be known for getting down in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that started back in Davis. Shout out to TH4.
Shout out.
The resident chef and TH4. And so even when we had like Greek events there, I remember like making a whole big peach cobbler that was gone in literally 5 minutes, had people putting them in coffee filters because we didn't have plates.
Hands burning. It
just came out of the oven and people are putting this peach cobbler in their hands because they don't want it to be gone.
Fun times. Just, when you're a hungry college student and someone makes a pan of peach cobbler, you don't miss it. What's a burn? I'm fine. I'll heal. Oh man, but a few things that are spiraling in my head right now. One, before we get into those 3 lanes of branding, I want to talk about how your brand is amplified, right? So one thing that you said was people who literally have never, well, now they've met you in person, but before had never met you in person, quite frankly, didn't even know your real name because
the Queen,
I call her Queen. So I mean, that's kind of another branding thing. Like you're literally called the Queen as well. But they already knew things about you because I'm amplifying your messages. I'm amplifying your brand, right? So a lot of people, and I think I put this in the post specifically when I was posting this on LinkedIn. A lot of people meet your brand before they meet you. Right. So you have to be intentional about how your brand's being amplified and what that message is, because that can make or break a contract, a job, a relation, a marriage. Right. I know there's people who I try to maybe set them up on dates like, nah, I've heard about that person. I'm good. I know their brand. I'm good. Right. So one amplification is people, your friends. I think another clear amplification of your brand is your social media. Please, and this is maybe for our younger crowd, but this can be for anybody. If you have your Instagram, your Twitter, and your TikTok, your LinkedIn, see it as a extension of you and the opportunities that you want to be given to you. Queen, anything to add on that before I go down a rabbit hole? Anything to add on amplifying your personal brand through the people that you know, through your social media, through pen pals and writing letters to people? Do that? No, that's done.
Pen pals. Anyways, you mean Instagram friends?
There we go.
No, I think you're right that like see your social media platforms as an extension of you. And I know that there are different social media platforms that are kind of for different reasons, for different audiences, if you will, but they all in some way, shape, or form should be a reflection of who you are. So I would say definitely take a look, like go back to your social medias and be like, is this how I want myself to be presented to the world? Whether your page is public or private, stuff is out there on the world, out there in the universe. And once it's out there, we don't own it anymore. So we can't always control what people do with it. Right? Case in point, somebody's taking his information and reposting his stuff with the efforts of trying to get people to send them money. Like that's what they were trying to do. Is this man is clearly a trustworthy man. And so much, right? They trusted his brand so much that they were like, if I take this identity and I email or I message his followers, I'm pretty sure people are going to send me money. Right?
Literally, they were DMing students were hitting back like, professor, like, is this you? Da-da-da. And shout out to y'all. I'm not gonna say your names on here, but shout out to y'all for being smart, not sending any money. And they're like, yeah, I knew you wouldn't ask for this. Da-da-da-da. I was like, oh, thank you. But yeah, like y'all hitting up my students, my babies.
Not the babies.
Come on, man.
You don't play about his babies.
I don't. But let's get into it, right? So 3 levels of personal branding. First level is who you are or who you want to be within your relationship, right? Within your home, within your friend group, or within your marriage. And I think we've talked a little bit about this before, but Queen, who are you in this marriage?
I'm the queen.
Well, all right, next question.
Right. Literally, like I feel like I don't remember when we started calling each other that king and queen, but I feel like
since
you definitely started it. I could admit that he
It's part.
started it,
It's part of my brand.
but naturally I'm just like, I'm not a queen by myself here. Like
Mm.
a queen needs a king,
Mm.
and clearly you are King Material, you are King
Thank you.
Walker. And so I think that is how I see myself. Like I really do see us as king and queen of wherever we are.
Mm.
But to that point, like a queen, when I think of like when I call myself queen, what that means to me and what I hope that to embody that in our relationship is someone who, like, we're both bosses. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, yes, I
we
do.
like we are in control of our time,
Mm.
of our lives. And I think that we've made some very strategic steps, especially in the last couple of years since being married, to make sure that we are in control of our lives as much as possible. Right. So free the queen, right?
Free the
Free the
queen.
queen. That was one thing. That was a goal of ours last year of us as a couple. That was our goal. That was our motto. So I think that, and we've even started these businesses. Everything we're doing is to be very intentional so that, like, when we have kids, right, we can control how we interact with them. We can control how much of the day we want to spend with them, right? We have control over that. And so that's that was semi a tangent, but tangent. But yes, I want to see, I want where I see myself in the relationship as someone who is supportive of the other person, right? Queen, I think, almost implies that there's a king involved. Although it doesn't have to be a king.
Yeah,
It
not
doesn't have to be a
always.
king. But in this case, that's the situation. But I think that also at the same time, like, a queen is like, there's a certain presence about a queen, like in their royalness, but also their, like, they know who they are. They don't need to, like, I don't see myself as a queen that, like, goes around demanding people or commanding people to do things. But I think a queen does demand a level of respect.
Yeah.
I think I'm maybe switching command and demand. Which one of them is, like, command is like, you go do this, or is that a demand?
I believe that is a demand.
Demand. Okay. Commands respect. Then I want to command respect whenever I walk into I want to walk into a room. So those are things that I think that I would hope to embody.
Something else I'm gonna sprinkle on your brand within the relationship that we already talked about is the chef within the relationship and is the health person within the relationship as well. So I think it's really dope, kind of for both of us, but a lot for you. Who you are in the relationship is also kind of that outward brand as well. Like they're almost the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I don't know if that's 100% the goal, because I think there are aspects of who we are. So like being dorks and corny is also part of your brand,
What are you
but
talking
let's not go there, Sinclair. Don't do it. It's not a fight you go win. This fun player. But being corny, being dorks, being nerds, I feel like it's something that is very much expressed in our marriage. It's kind of expressed. I'll be
Y'all
real
get
with
a
y'all.
little bit
Y'all
of it.
get like a very, very tip of the iceberg, but there's a lot underneath the ocean,
surface.
underneath the surface. Thank you. There's a lot underneath the surface. But yeah, I would say for the most part, who you are within the relationship is the same outward brand that a lot of your friends see you as well.
It's exhausting being different people.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Like I had to do
Yeah.
a little bit of that. A lot of us have to do a little bit of that, like when you work a 9 to 5.
So let's go to that. So that's the next stage, right? So there's who you are as a person, who your loved ones see you as, and hopefully who you are the most natural. That's your natural brand that hopefully you can have shine in other places. But and then there's who you are professionally in the workplace, at your 9 to 5, wherever it may be. You're a certain person there. Queen, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, in general, like, especially for our community, right? You've got kind of that double identity sometimes you almost have to have, to where historically we haven't really been allowed to bring our whole selves to the professional world because it hasn't been allowed, right? Down to literally our hairstyles, they were literally not allowed.
Literally until maybe last year, California, you could fire someone for wearing locks in California. Up until last 2021 in California, where we're, seemingly
more
very
progressive,
progressive, you can get fired legally for having locks. Continue, my love.
Crazy stuff like that, right? The language, like clothes you wear, all those things were not welcomed in the professional world. So you had to put up that double identity almost. So I think that is the case for a lot of folks, and that's exhausting because you wake up, right? You wake up, you're at home. So you spend your morning time, right? If you got a husband, if you got kids, or you got a partner, whoever, you got to get everybody ready, right? You get out the door, you're yourself, and then you walk into these doors, and all of a sudden you kind of have to be like,
You gotta put on the mask.
right? Especially like I'll talk specifically for my experience, right? You always have to make sure that you are seen as a professional, taken seriously, but also you don't want to be the mad black woman. So that's a delicate balance because when you get angry, there's always that like, "Ooh, okay, let's dial it back. Let's dial it back," because I don't want to be put into that stereotype either. There's just a lot of like wanting to stay inside this box so that you can make sure that your career goes in a certain direction.
So what was your brand within your 9 to 5?
Um, I mean, it kind of had to be a little bit like no nonsense. I don't take nothing from anybody.
Why do you have to add in the choreography to do that?
I don't know. No nonsense. I don't know. It just happens.
That's Zeta New.
Exactly. But I feel like there was a little bit of that because I was young, because I was a woman in a predominantly male space. So I feel like that's a whole nother conversation on needing to be perceived a certain way so that you were taken seriously. I was the manager over a large group of predominantly men. Of a community I didn't identify with. So it's like I needed to make sure that I don't mess around and you're not going to be able to take advantage of me type of thing. So yeah, there was a little bit of like that needed to happen, which
a little bit of what?
Which I don't say that like normally when I'm here with you. Like I don't do that. You can be like and I'm just like, you know.
Don't let her fool you. She be hurring at me. So
when it's necessary, it's there.
I'm doing that all week. I promise you. I promise you I'm doing that. Hey, Sinclair, how you doing? It's not even gonna make sense. I'm just her. But so I know that you got a good reputation within your industry because people, every time you got on a conference call or you met someone at a conference, they were like, "Oh yeah, Sinclair, I heard about you." Right? What was that reputation? What was the message that you think was leaving your plant and getting to other people?
I would hope that it was that like Sinclair delivers. Like whatever she sets out to do, she does. She delivers. She can hold her own. But is also good with people. Like it's not like I didn't want to be somebody people also didn't like because I just feel like I don't want to be in an environment. I want to come to a place every day where I got to be like nobody likes me. That's also exhausting.
That's exhausting.
Right. So it was like I'm not doing extra things to be liked, but I'm also not doing extra things to not be liked. What was the question?
The question was, Queen. No, I'll repeat it for you. I got you. The question was your reputation.
What was it?
Yes. What was your reputation? And like as other directors or supervisors were hearing about you and they would come up to be like, "Oh, Sinclair, I've heard." Well, what was that thing that they heard about you? You said that you deliver.
Yeah. That I was willing to learn. Yeah, other than that, I don't really know.
Nice. Okay, that's all good.
But I was even known, at least I can tell you for sure, I like my last place of employment, I was known even as the health person and like the cook there too.
Nice.
Right, because you bring in stuff and I would go through periods where they'd be like, "Oh, we're going here. You want something?" I'm like, "Nah." Or they bring in food and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not eating that right now," or whatever. But then I would also bring in my foods and they'd smell like, "Oh, what you got? Oh, it's jambalaya. Oh, it's a little gumbo. Oh, it's a little jerk salmon." Everybody, no, everybody knew I need to could throw down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. For me, my brand has been, I mean, because I worked at UCs and I did Black recruitment or African American recruitment, so I feel like for a while now my lane has been within the African American community. Second part of my professional identity was definitely my energy and my ability to present. Literally how I got the next job after my first job was I was presenting at the Black Cause Expo. Very Devon energy, very out there. And then someone from another institution saw me, was like, "Oh yeah, we need that guy. We need him to come to our school. And then, you know, the rest is history. Switched schools, went there, built up that same energy. Like when people wanted to learn how to do presentations, they would say, go watch Devon's presentation and take notes. And people would walk out like, I can't do it like that.
It's a gift.
It is a beautiful gift that I'm honored. Thank you. I'm not the most organized. I misspell entrepreneur very
You
often.
misspell a lot of words here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Grr.
that was it right there.
That was a good one.
Right, my bad.
But yes, like being able to speak, being able to just engage with people and have that energy, love it. Definitely a God-given gift. What I also picked up at my previous employer was I used to wear suits every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how hot it was 105 degrees. I was suited and booted with a tie because I too was very young going into that position. I was the youngest AD that was there. I wanted a certain level of professionalism being in charge of Black recruitment. I wanted to make sure that people knew I was about business. I was talking to all these professors and deans and vice chancellors. And I just wanted to make sure that they didn't think that they were sitting across from, you know, a child. Like, no. I'm a grown man over here taking this job very seriously, and we go get to the work. So that was also part of my brand. Like literally, people were like, "Oh, what suit he's gonna wear tomorrow? Oh, another suit, Devon. Oh, it's 100 degrees. You still wearing a suit?" Yes, I am, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, how you been? Are you good off of professional identity brand?
I think so.
Okay. So why that's important, right? Because again, looking to get your promotion, your brand's going to come into play. Looking to get another job somewhere else, your brand is definitely going to come into play. Looking to get support from other people during a project. If people are like, "Oh yeah, Devon's great to work with. He never growls at me ever." I may get some people to help me out on a project.
Looking to take the leap into entrepreneurship, your brand is going to be absolutely.
It's a
It
fact.
literally doesn't matter what path you go. Your brand is going to either help or hinder you. So I think it's important too. That's something that I had to definitely learn this year, that I had built up this great brand within the professional industry of where I came from. That didn't need diddly squat. Not diddly squat when I became an entrepreneur, because
so this is good. Now, I want to keep this right. So you left an industry where you had an established brand as a person who delivers, as a person who can take charge, who can kind of manage people. That was your brand. But you were leaving this world and you were about to start your business. Why didn't it translate?
The audience is totally different. I think if you're working in an enclosed space for professionally, one, the intent is different, right? There I'm trying to just keep the job. I'm not trying to actively sell a product. I wasn't a salesperson, but I'm trying to just maintain good relationships so that I can have a career that continues to progress. In an entrepreneur world, and we kind of talked about this, but I was always trying to sell without selling. Right. But I feel like naturally, once you take that leap into the entrepreneur world and you need to create your brand, you need to become a trustworthy person in your industry. And that for me, I was starting at ground zero pretty much. Yes, we had our True Health Forever podcast, which had a small audience.
Shout out.
I had my Instagram name, but that was about it. I wasn't like posting consistent content. And so, yeah, I really had to just start over basically. Like, okay, how do I, it's very different than, you know, okay, well, I see that person. I need to go talk to that person, ask how many kids they got, when they got married, where they went on their honeymoon. Right? It's a little bit different. Like now that I'm the world is my oyster, right? And now I've got to figure out who am I talking to? How do I reach them? And then how do I make sure that they see me as a trusted resource in health?
So you're giving really good game right now. I don't know if you notice it, right? So rewind. Right now, in this segment specifically, we are talking to people who are working at a 9-to-5 right now, but have the vision, the dream, the inkling to want to be an entrepreneur. And based on your experience, you said there's a few things that they probably want to do first. First thing you said is figure out who is it that you're talking to.
Yeah.
Right. So you're figure out who your niche is before you leave the comfort of your 9-to-5, where you know how to engage with Bob, you know how to engage with Jan, you know what mask to put on for Phyllis.
Shout out to Phyllis.
Shout out to Phyllis. You know what mask to put on for those different people, right? Now you need to figure out what is the mask or what is the most authentic version of me that I want to present to this niche audience. Figure that out before you leave. That's number one. Number two, something that you said, you were giving game, Queen. You said I needed to build up trust in my industry. Yeah. I didn't have any trust. People knew me here, but they didn't know me here. Right. So how would you suggest people build trust in their future industry, right? The industry that they're about to go into as an entrepreneur? How can they build that trust while they're still at their 9-to-5? How would you done it?
Just show your expertise, meaning put some content out there. It literally doesn't matter what it is. It can be, I mean, if you want to start off real, just ground level, like a quote, right? Maybe it's a research study you found, a quote, a video, a live, something consistent. So don't overwhelm yourself. This is what I started doing. Of like, okay, Monday and then Tuesday and then Wednesday and then Thursday. That's it can be overwhelming. Start with like one thing that you're gonna do. So whether it's every Thursday, I'm going to do Thursday throwdowns, right? I'm gonna cook my Thursday meal on Instagram Live so that everybody can see, or I'm going to create a reel from my meal and turn it into a recipe video. It can be literally just a live. I'm going to go on live for 10 minutes and talk about something. I know you used to do that. You still do that every now and then. Yeah, it can literally just be a carousel post where you maybe type out a paragraph and then you break it up into 3 or 4 posts, create them. You can go on Canva, one of these, what's the other one? Adobe, and just make it look nice, right? And then post it at the same day every week.
Can you see that? I got bad eyes.
I said, come on, Sinclair, drop in the nuggets. Look. Grr. Shout out to, I could see his Facebook user, so I don't know who it is, but thank you for picking up the nuggets. Grr. But yeah, definitely just think of one thing that you're going to do every single week. Get consistent with that, because once people, it's the only, I think I read this or heard this somewhere that it takes the average person like 7 times of interacting with you before they trust you. And that just because they trust you doesn't mean they're about to buy your product, but they might even start considering it, right? After 7 times of seeing some of your content. And again, that doesn't mean that every post you put, they're going to see, right? They may see one and then they may see another one next month. So that means you have to be consistent with it. Yeah. That means 7 different videos, right? If you start this week, your best case scenario is that a month and a half from now, you may have someone that's like, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and follow this person. Yep. Or let me go download their free ebook. Or
listen, I got friends that are still barely following the Play Black Wall Street Instagram.
It's taking years.
It's taking years for them to get a game. It's taking years for them to subscribe on YouTube. But you cannot let that stop you, right? So like Sinclair said, again, loving the nuggets. 1, find your niche audience. Who are you talking to? 2, figure out what is your identity, what is your brand that you want to exude to people. And then 3, find a content platform to now present your expertise on a consistent basis. It's not about being the most glamorous. It's not about being the most high quality at this point. You'll get there eventually. Right now, we want you to start off with, how can I consistently show up and people know I'm the health nerd? People know I'm the Black Wall Street guy. People know that you're the, you fill in the blank. I don't know what you are yet, but hopefully we'll get to know you. Okay. Is there anything after that? After you build trust, after you've gone and you've been kind of consistent in your messaging, what would you say would be the last step that you wish you would have did before completely jumping to being an entrepreneur? What's that last thing that you think people need? And if you don't got it, I got it.
Oh, then go for it.
Oh, all right. You need a product.
Okay, there you go. That's kind of, I was gonna be like, just launch, like,
you need a product before you quit that job. Have a product developed, right? This can be a book, this can be a board game, this can be a coaching sessions, this can be a photography package, whatever it is. But you've become an expert, right? You've expressed yourself, your personal brand within a certain niche. Now you need to wrap up that niche, wrap up that energy into a product that people can buy.
One product.
Yes. One product. Start off with one product.
And started with Black Wall Street, the board game.
Bam.
Everything else has been a result. That one thing.
Shout out. But yeah, create that one product encourage you to do pre-sales of that one product, right? So you get your sample of the shirt, you get your sample of the book, your sample of Black Wall Street, the board game, get it, take your pictures. Hey, y'all, look what I'm doing. I'm launching. Boom. Now you probably need a website to be able to get those pre-orders, or you can do some Google Forms, right? You can do it. What's it called?
Do DIY.
DIY. That's
Low budget.
low budget. That's the vibe I'm going for. I feel like it's not the exact words. We're gonna go with DIY. And just get going. Okay. So do we need to go through it again? You think they got it?
Let's go through it again. What was number one?
Sinclair. Sinclair.
Number two. I remember number two.
Yeah, what's number two?
Number two was wow.
Golly. Golly, y'all. I got it, Sinclair. Listen, this is business development. This is my brand. I got it. You sit over there. Just don't bite nobody. So step number one, find your niche.
Ah, yeah.
Who's your audience? Who are you talking to, Sinclair? Grr, right? Step number two is you need to figure out what is the brand that you want to amplify. Yeah, it is raining hard out here.
Cats and dogs and hamsters.
I love it. But what is the brand that you want to amplify out there, right? What's the message? What's the brand? Number three is content. How can you package up, number two? How can you package up the brand and put it into quotes on Instagram, put it into Instagram Reels, put it into tweets, put it into a podcast would be a beautiful content. And it's also kind of a product, 2 for 1. Get it with it. And then get with it. And then lastly, number four is a product or a service that is on brand and connects back to your niche audience. You are trying to solve a problem or provide a beautiful, amazing experience to your niche audience. 4 steps.
And can I add another one that it can probably fit into one of these? But another thing that I wish I would have done that I think is also really easy to do before you've launched your product is to survey your niche. So that's like, right, just DM people. You don't have, you literally have nothing to lose at that point. You don't even have a product to sell.
Just make sure you're using your own profile and you do not copy Devon Truvel's profile and then start DMing people, because that's not allowed.
That part. But right, if you're trying to create a weight loss program for women, DM some women that look like they're like, you know, search like the hashtag weight loss journey or something right now. People using that, they're probably on a weight loss journey. Hey, you know, I see you're on a weight loss journey. You mind if I ask you a few questions? What's your biggest struggles? What are you looking for in a weight loss program? What are you blah, blah, blah. How much would you pay for something like that? Just do some market research. One, you're creating people who might be able to buy your product in the future. But two, again, you have nothing to lose because you're not selling them anything. You're just looking for their information. And I feel like I was so hesitant to do that after I'd already launched because because I was like, oh, they're going to just see right through me and be like, what do you want? But I feel like if I had started that before, one, I would have had some data to create my program off of. But I also think I would have had less pressure and just been able to do it more freely because it's like, I'm just trying
nothing to lose.
Right, nothing to lose.
Yeah. All right. So we hope you got those 4 steps. Feel free if you got questions, comments, put those inside of YouTube, inside of Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching. Of course, make sure you like and subscribe to support the channel. We are on our road to monetize this podcast and be able to give you more value, more nuggets, and help you secure the bag. So make sure you give us a like and a follow to support the channel. It's free for you. So go ahead and click the like button right now. Just wow. Cool. Appreciate you. Lastly, and I want to go over this quickly because I know this was supposed to be a short episode.
You jinxed it by saying that.
It never happens, y'all, because we get passionate about it. We love this, right? I want to go through very quickly, and if we don't get to all of it, we can do a whole episode on this. But the core ideology, right? When you're building a business, and I got this from a book called Build to Last. Really, really good book about how you can build lasting brands and businesses. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to build something that's going to last the next 100, 200, 300 years, and you're going to be able to pass it down from generation to generation. But when you look at the patterns of corporations that have been built to last, they have some common building blocks: mission statement, vision statement, core values, and a big, audacious goal. All right. So mission, what do you do and who do you do it for? Right. Play Black Wall Street teaches the legacy of Tulsa's Black Wall Street in a fun way to Black families.
Through
Boom.
fun and educational experiences.
Boom. Through fun and educational experiences, right? That is our mission. What we do and who we do it for. Our vision.
She asked me what I do and who I
I
do
do
it
it
for.
for. Shout out to 2 Chainz. Shout out to 2 Chainz. Vision, right? This is what is the world that your mission will create in the future. Right? When you are successful in your health journey, when you are successful in teaching people about Tulsa Black Wall Street, when you are successful in capturing amazing content through your lens, shout out to Jair back there. What will the world look like afterwards? Right. So for us, the wealth gap within America, right? The average African American has a worth of $17,000, while the average white American have a net worth of $171,000. Our vision is that wealth gap collapses within the next 100 years. That's
Preferably by us catching.
Yes, preferably by us catching up, not them going backwards, right? We want forward momentum for everybody, right? Everybody's winning. But how can we help close that gap through financial literacy, through people playing the board game and being inspired to own things, through people just being able to live longer because they're healthy. So now they have extra 5, 10, 20 years to stack and create generational wealth, through people watching this podcast and being able to learn about life insurance and learn about charitable remainder trusts, which we just learned about the other day, and we are so excited to learn more. But yeah, how can Play Black Wall Street be a part of closing that wealth gap? That's our vision. Right? Go ahead, Queen.
I have had this explained to me like a way to simplify it. The vision is where you're going, and the mission is how you're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that fits into how you just explained it, right? We're
Thank
trying
you.
to, where we're going is we're trying to close the wealth gap. Like that's the end goal. How we're getting there is doing this podcast here, right? Getting this board game out.
Yep.
Yeah, workshops, like all those things are how we are making that goal happen.
Boom. There it is. Big audacious goal, right? Just say something. And this is something I love big audacious goals. The Queen is a little on edge about them, but literally make a statement, make a stand on something that you are going to accomplish, a problem that you are going to solve. And it doesn't have to happen for the next 10, 20, 30 years, but it's like literally the finish line. It is something that you are constantly striving for. And right now, Play Black Wall Street is striving for being inside of the educational system all throughout California and literally shifting the culture of financial literacy and ownership within California. Period. That's what we're doing. We're starting off small. We're in a few schools out here in Riverside and LA, but within the next 10, 20 years, you cannot be in a high school in California without engaging with Black Wall Street, the board game, and the Play Black Wall Street team. You can't do it. In 20 years, you will engage with Play Black Wall Street at some point of your formal or informal education.
Let's go.
That's our big, audacious goal, right? And then lastly, your core values. What are the things that you believe in as a brand? What does your brand believe in and stand by 100%? Right? For us, Play Black Wall Street, it's Black excellence. It is financial literacy. It is wealth, accessibility, and family, but yes, community as well, right? Those are our core values as a brand. And we need to make sure that everything that we do is in alignment with those core values. Queen, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I think sometimes when we hear things, especially for, well, I'll just, for myself, sometimes when I hear like, oh, we need to have these things, sometimes it's like, do I really need to have these things?
Yes.
But then you go to places like Chick-fil-A and you realize why you need to have things like that. Because there are a million people, there are a million places now selling chicken sandwiches.
Literally.
But why are there always lines and lines and lines and parking lot shutdowns for Chick-fil-A? Their service.
And their sauce.
And their sauce. But their customer service sets them apart.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you get a 5-star dining experience in a fast food restaurant. Yeah. Right? And they make that a part of their core identity, their core values, and they have set themselves apart for it. And so now when you want a chicken sandwich, most people think and go to Chick-fil-A.
100%. And I feel like another thing is like they're closed on Sundays.
Right.
Again, a part of their core values. But now, if you want Chick-fil-A, you got to go before Sunday.
Literally this morning, I was like, oh,
really? That's funny. That's actually
funny. Every time.
Grrr.
Grrr.
Need to change this episode title to Grrr. But there you go, y'all. We've given you 4 steps to really shift from your entrepreneur or shift from your 9 to 5 to potentially starting that your family business or your personal business, right? We talked about building your niche. We talked about having your core message or your brand, how to amplify that message, and then how to create a product. And then we talked about how do you build out your own personal brand or your business brand. You have a mission statement, you have your vision statement, you have your big audacious goal, and then you have your core values. There's definitely some more parts in there. We didn't have time to get into the full branding and iconography and how do you get your domain and the brand colors and the psychology of colors. That's a deep dive. That is a full mastermind or episode on branding that we can definitely go into. But hopefully we gave y'all just a little bit of sauce, right? That y'all can get started. Cool. Appreciate you. Queen. Queen. Can you please give folks the updates? And yes, you can give that update that I know you want to give.
Okay, great. So we have a campaign active right now, y'all, and we need your help.
Your help.
I'm talking to you.
Right there.
I don't look behind you. I'm talking to you.
Unless you're Granny, you've already helped a lot. We appreciate you.
Indeed. But like we mentioned, we started from Black Wall Street, the board game, and now we are launching Rose and Rodney, the Black History Adventures of Rose and Rodney, the animated series. Yeah. So we've got a rough draft of episode 1. We're trying to create a whole 8-episode season. We need more representation of Black cartoons. We need more cartoons out there that are not only educating folks, but also providing a space where they can see themselves, right, in a different light than they're typically seen. So
we just did a research study. It's on our website. If you go to playblackwallstreet.com, only 5.6% of animated characters are African American or Black.
I'm pretty sure there's more than 5.6% of Black children in this world.
Yes, there's 14% in America, right? So we're already underrepresented. We also were able to research that literally behavior and psychology is impacted by watching TV and playing video games. Children can see an increase of anxiety and violent behavior towards siblings simply by playing and watching cartoons. So how can we use the power of the screen and flip it so that, like the Queen said, we give them positive representations of who they are, who they can be, and how they should act in the world. Queen, keep going.
Yes, I'll shade to that. So we have an active campaign right now. Is it on the website or should we go to the social media?
You can go to our website, playblackwallstreet.com, and then right there on the home screen, there's a support Rose and Rodney campaign right there. You can also read our research blog by going to blogs and reading why we need more Black cartoons. That's probably the easiest way. If you're on Instagram, you can also go to the link in the bio, but head to playblackwallstreet.com and go ahead and click that support Rose and Rodney campaign right there on the home screen. We appreciate whatever you can contribute. And please make sure you share the page with at least one family as well. Much love.
If you do happen to be watching on YouTube, we do have the actual link of the campaign here too, funblackfounders.com/playbackwallstreet. And yes, any contribution is helpful. And in addition to that, like he said, please do share it with somebody. We are trying to really bring this thing to life. And again, change the world a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Right. And talking about big, audacious goals. So there's some high schools that have film studies within their curriculum. So again, giving y'all a little taste of the vision, right? How can we create a film series that can then be put inside of schools and worked with curriculum that's also teaching financial literacy and Black history? So you're watching the film in your film studies class, you're learning Black history, aka ethnic studies, and you're also learning entrepreneurship all within the same course. Listen, y'all, we going. It's rich, literally. All right. So Jaid, if you can, put the link inside of the comments so that it can be a live link for people to click. If that's allowed, I'm not sure. That's your wheelhouse, that's your expertise. But if you can do it, we appreciate you. Another update for us. We just got back from Atlanta. Thank you very much, Jaid. Appreciate you. So the link is now inside of the comments. But we just got back to Atlanta or from Atlanta. Did a amazing panel with the Bank on It series and the Our Palette team talking about just the importance of Black wealth. ownership, and can capitalism be used as a vehicle to create liberation? Very, really rich conversations. It got a little heated. We didn't all agree, but we all had the same destination in mind. So it was really good conversation. Those episodes will be coming out later on, not on our platform, on the Our Palette platform. Also, big announcement, y'all. This is gonna be really cool. I'm going to Ghana. We are here. Unfortunately, the queen is not going to be able to join me on. Unfortunately, the queen is not going to be able to join me on this trip, but I'm going to the African Diaspora Educational Summit. There we go. Yes, African Diaspora Educational Summit. Look at me. He's like, do you know? In Ghana, and it's going to be hosted at the University of Cape Coast. Going there to be able to connect with some professors and educators out in Ghana, so they can teach us, just the Ghanaian ways, the West African ways, and how we can build African-centered curriculum. But then as educators, we're also going over there to teach them the university system on this side and how we teach and build curriculum over here in California or in the States. So it's going to be a beautiful just mesh and melting of minds and geniuses and melanin. Literally, we have like I was trying to go for M4. I don't know if I got the fourth one.
You did. It wasn't all together, but that's what I just did for you.
Cool. Appreciate you, Queen. But we have a lot of really amazing people coming from California. I'm sure equally amazing people out there in Ghana. So I'm going to do a lot of filming, a lot of vlogging, come back, be able to share my experience with you all, which also means that the next 2 episodes that we do with the M4 show, I will be in Ghana while we do it. I don't think y'all thought we were going to take days off. Y'all thought we were gonna miss some episodes just because I'm on a complete other side of the planet. We still going. We'll go live out there. It's a little bit of a time difference, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But we are still gonna do some episodes while I'm in Ghana, so stay tuned for those. What's funny, Queen?
I don't know if you actually want me to say it. It's another one of those like, I know I'm funny type of things. So like,
let's hear this.
Even if it has to be the situation where, I record my part and then you record your part and we put it together. And I just imagined it really like
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
So Devon, tell us about, and then you're over there like
like on the news channels, just
take it away.
Yeah, no. So we're not doing that. But there may be a slight delay while we're out there because they said the internet is a little bit patchy. So you maybe have to carry some of the conversation just because you'll put it on your back, Queen. But nonetheless, it's gonna be some legendary stuff, and I'm very excited.
Sounds good. Are we gonna make one of these on real estate since you're gonna be gone?
Sure, that works. Yeah. Great. So get those slides ready.
Yeah.
Cool. Queen, you good?
I'm good.
Cool. It felt like a good one for me. So if you're coming late and maybe you didn't catch all the wisdom, we did talk about personal branding. Definitely make sure you rewind.
Devon's identity got stolen.
My identity got stolen. It got reclaimed though. They went on to another very powerful Black man who also has a really great brand. Sorry, Aaron Johnson. They got you, man. They got you. Make sure you report them, Aaron Johnson. Real dope dude. Owns a grocery store in Greenwood. Dope. Yeah, real dope. But definitely rewind. If you did get some wisdom and some knowledge, some value out of this episode, again, give us a like and subscribe. We appreciate you, and share it with another friend that you know is ready to make the leap from their 9-to-5 to the entrepreneurship life. We appreciate you tapping into the M4 show. M4 standing for Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the
health nerd.
We hope y'all secure the marriage. We hope y'all secure the love. And of course, we hope y'all secure the bag. Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them. All of them. Wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.